Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you guys a very delicious, healthy chili recipe that's low carb, paleo, really good for meal prep and is freezer friendly too. It's the perfect warm, comforting meal coming into the cooler months. I don't know about you, but where I live, we already have snow on the ground. So this is definitely a great cozy meal. You make a nice big pot and it's going to be really great. So make sure to subscribe if you're new and let's get into it. So to start our chili, I'm going to be chopping up 1 yellow onion. And onions are great because they're loaded with antioxidants and compounds that really help the body and fight free radicals and fight inflammation. And inflammation is the root of a lot of different kind of diseases too. So anything that we can do in order to support that is going to be really good for our health. So go ahead, chop your onion in half, remove the skin, and then my trick for chopping up an onion is to slice almost all the way through with the grain of the onion, and then we're going to turn it sideways and finally chop it. So this way you can chop an onion quite quickly. And then we are going to be heating a pot to medium heat with some avocado oil. And this is one of my new pots for this year. I was so excited to finally use it to make a nice big dinner. So if you have one of these, it's going to be really, really good to use in this recipe. I'm adding in the onions and I'm going to allow those to cook down and get translucent. I'm also going to be adding in some fresh garlic. If you don't have garlic fresh, you can definitely use the granulated one. I'm just grating it using one of these zester graters. I find that the small chunks is easier than trying to mince it, and you get more of a distributed flavor and you don't get the chunks of garlic. So grate that in and allow that to cook down with the onions and get fragrant. And then I'm going to be adding in some grass-fed ground beef. But you can do any kind of protein here that you like. You can do a mix of beef and turkey, or beef and chicken, or turkey and chicken, or turkey and pork, whatever kind of you want. I just kind of break it down, whatever one I'm using, and so that it can brown with the onions and with the garlic. And the great thing about making a big pot of this is that you can definitely do this on a Sunday, even have it for dinner on the Sunday, and then leftovers for the week, or freeze it. Then I'm going to be adding in 1 can of organic diced tomatoes and adding that into the pot. And then I'm going to be adding in some broth. You can do veggie broth, chicken broth, beef broth, whatever you have on hand. And then my secret to making really good chili is adding in a small cupful, or about a 1/4 cup, of strong coffee. So the coffee flavor, trust me guys on this one, it tastes delicious in this recipe. And yeah, it's definitely my secret to making a very delicious chili. And it doesn't end up tasting like coffee too much. You're not going to be eating coffee flavored chili. It just tastes really delicious. So then I'm adding in some cumin for some flavor and also some chili powder. So chili powder is the main spice that we're going to be using in chili. So we're adding in quite a bit of it, a couple tablespoons. And it's great because it's a blend of many different spices, so you don't need to buy them all individually. A little bit of Himalayan salt and some freshly ground pepper as well. And then I am going to be stirring that and allowing this to simmer for about 30 to 40 minutes until all the flavors really meld together and everything just starts to smell so delicious. This is honestly one of my favorite cozy meals going into the cooler months. Once that's been cooking down, I'm going to be adding in a can of tomato paste. And what this does is it really allows the chili to thicken, and so it's not watery. So it really gets an even distribution as opposed to more of a broth where you can still see the meat, if that makes sense. So this is another great thing to use to really thicken up your chili and to get that nice texture that you want. So go ahead, stir that in and allow that to simmer for just a little bit more until everything can kind of meld together and cook nicely. Once your chili is done, you can go ahead and put it into your bowl. It's going to be such a delicious warming meal for you to have in the winter and fall months. I also like to add some avocado on top of mine. I find that the creaminess and a little bit of healthy fats from the avocado also help to cool it down if you're having a very spicy chili. But honestly, it just tastes so delicious, the butteriness of the avocado with the warm chili. So if you haven't tried avocado and chili before, I would highly recommend. And finishing it off with a little bit of cilantro. But if you're not a cilantro person, you can totally skip it. It's just a nice little garnish and adds a little bit of fresh herb flavor. But this is definitely a great thing to meal prep for a family, even for lunches, for dinners, and I like to just pull it out of the freezer so I have a quick meal that's going to be nourishing, good for me, loaded with healthy fats, and of course full of flavor. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I'm going to leave my healthy dinner playlist right here so you can get lots more inspiration, because you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And make sure to subscribe, because in my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips for eating healthy on a budget. There's some really great ones and really great ways that you can save money and still eat really healthy. So make sure to subscribe, stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.